Hi, everyone. Mitch from PickDogs.com. It is Sunday, April 2nd, 2023, here with your live show. We're live 7 days a week, 365 days a year. Got a handful of handicappers with us today, all with big picks in today's action. We got full card of Major League Baseball and a giant card of NBA. I think there's hockey today as well. So kind of the whole thing going on today. 9 hockey games as well on top of it all. So plenty of action going on. Of course, my Canes come up short in the Final Four. I got to say, man, hats off to UConn. It wasn't like a suffocating type defense that they got us on. It was just they kind of just unsettled us. And you miss 14 layups in a game like that, you got to have them, you know? You got to have them. We got Big Al on the road with us today. Al, my Canes went down. I got super proud of the season that we had. Not disappointed one bit. I just think that I would have rather have gotten beaten outright in that game. I think UConn definitely beat us. I just think that it wasn't our best effort. I think part of that had to do with what they were doing. Part of it had to do with their personnel. And part of it, our guys just missed some easy shots. I mean, we just missed some really easy layups. We missed 14 layups in one game. And against a team like UConn, you can't afford to do that.
No, and let's be honest here. I mean, UConn's been they've had one of the best tournament runs in the history of the tournament. I mean, they're 5-0 straight up and against the spread, covering the spread in the aggregate by 77.5 points.
Well,
that's how dominant they've been. So
Miami was beat a 1, a 2, and a 4, and was an underdog in every game except for their opening round game against Drake, where they were only a 2-point favorite against Drake.
Yeah. So, I mean, no, look, I mean, when you get to the Final Four, you've had a great run. I mean, San Diego State's had a great run. All those teams had a great run. But what Connecticut has done, I mean, every game, it's been a buzzsaw. So, it's just been one of those, years. I remember, I think Villanova, back, what was it, 2018, 2017, had a run like, this where they just destroyed everybody. So, it is what it is. As a fan, I think I'd always rather lose the way Connecticut lost than the way Miami lost and the way Florida Atlantic lost. So, but congratulations, great year.
Yeah, like I said, not the ending we would have hoped for, but definitely a season beyond what we could have hoped for. So we'll certainly take it. And the thing is, I think, the nice thing about me is betting Miami. We busted up the Sharps all season. I mean, the Sharps were against us every single game and just got absolutely destroyed by the Canes all season long. The only game they got us on was the game against Duke in the ACC tournament, where we were missing our center. That was the only game they got us pretty much all season long. So we're pretty happy, that the Florida State game, obviously the one we would like to forget, and a lot more than last night's game, where I thought we played hard. Our guys were tough. We just didn't hit the shots, and we didn't hit the open shots. It was like they were just rattled. It was almost like they were playing like there was a guy ready to block the shot when they had a wide open layup, and they were just rushing it and just couldn't hit it from 2 inches. It just wasn't our game and wasn't our night. I think if they played a 4 out of 7, might be a little different story, but who knows?
I didn't get to see one play from the game. We were at the early bird dinner here on our spring break, so I missed the entire game. So it's hard.
The Canes played hard. They just missed a lot of layups in both halves. UConn extended on them twice, and twice they reeled them in. And they had it from down 20. They got it down to single digits. No one's been able to do that against UConn in this tournament. They had them on the ropes, and they missed layups. And, for Florida Atlantic, it was just not able to get the defensive rebound. It wasn't the end of the game. I thought he shot a little too early there at the end, the Florida Atlantic player. But at the same time, it was a series of offensive rebounds by San Diego State that was really their undoing and made it, put them in position for that at the end. But it's been a great tournament, and it's kind of just goes to show you how useless the rankings are and how pathetic the guys that make the rankings are, and just how worthless they are and altogether and don't deserve any sort of compensation whatsoever. All they do is pat themselves on the back and talk about how they really understand the game. But the reality of it is I think we all, as a group, our group watches more games than all of those guys combined.
And the other thing I've always found interesting is how similar the rankings are between, the coaches or whatever and the writers. I mean, it's almost like they're each looking at the other rankings to do their own rankings. There's generally only one team in the top 25 in one poll that's not in the other. They're exactly the same. So I don't know. I don't put a lot of stock in the rankings myself.
Yeah, but anyways, what do you got cooking for us today over at?
I was just going to talk about an XFL game. I know like we did yesterday, most people aren't really paying attention to this minor football league. Yesterday we talked about that situation where the 6-0, team versus the 0-6 team, and of course the 0-6 team wins outright as a 9.5 point home underdog. They won 37-36. Today we're going to look at the Houston Roughnecks. This is a situation where you've got a 4-2 Houston team. They're coming home off back-to-back road losses. They had gotten out to a 4-0 start in the league, and then the last 2 weeks they got upset by the Sea Dragons, and then last week they had the big game against, they were 4-1, and Washington was 5-0 at the time, and they lost that big game 37-26 at Washington. So they're coming home off back-to-back road losses, and now they're favored by 3 points in most places. Some places have 3.5 against the Battlehawks, St. Louis. And again, we'll look at the NFL for instruction, because we've got over 40 years of NFL data to inform us. And that's what I like to do when I handicap the XFL, is just look at situations that have worked really well in the NFL. And believe it or not, they also tend to work extremely well in these minor leagues. And you've got a winning team coming home off back-to-back road losses. That's a single-digit favorite or pick 'em. Now, in the NFL, that situation is cashed 56 out of 88, going back 43 years. It's a really nice percentage. And that's what we're going to do here. We're just going to lay the 3 points with the home team here and look for Houston to bounce back at home off those back-to-back road losses, because they are a winning team. It was just a bad scheduling situation the last few weeks, and now they're back home, and we'll lay the 3 points.
Yeah, I know you said yesterday that, it doesn't really matter to you. It's just football, and you handicap it all the same way. Yeah, I just can't get into this. I haven't really tuned in too much into this XFL.
I get into the money.
But I know a lot of people, a lot of our audience, they're action junkies. I love action too, and I wish I could find my way into it. Maybe if there wasn't, 15 Major League Baseball games and 13 NBA games, I would be more.
I tell you, the league. I mean, it's a horrible league. I was watching a game, I think a couple of weeks ago. Rod Woodson was the coach, is the coach of the Vegas Vipers, and it was at the end of the game, and they were trying to run out the clock. And the league, and I think this is a mistake by the league, they've put live mics on, the coaches and stuff, and you can hear them with the play calls and everything. And at the end of the game, the players ran a play, I guess, that Rod Woodson didn't want them to run, or there was some, disconnect between the players and coaches. You could hear that. It all got laid bare for the audience that, the quarterback did something that the coach didn't want to do. Some people might find it interesting.
Sounds like the halfback pass at the end of Rudy.
Right. But I found it horrifying that, it was basically a shit show. And so you're watching and you think to yourself, like, oh my God, like Rod Woodson is the worst coach in the history of, or you just think a lot of things and you think to yourself, like, I don't want to have my money on these games because they can't even communicate amongst themselves. And it's all laid bare in front of the TV audience, which, it was eye-opening. Let's just say that.
Well, it's like I said, I haven't seen any of it. I know there's another football league coming shortly, right? Is it USFL?
USFL, yeah. That starts, I want to say mid-month.
What's the difference between the two as far as the personnel? Is one like the kind of the B and one is the C? Or are they just both kind of this mismatch?
I think they're both kind of the F.
Yeah, because I think in the issue, I think when we start to look at some of these backup quarterbacks in the NFL, and then we start to think about these other rosters, and I think, even when you start to look at wide receiver depth in the NFL and some of these other positions, it's amazing because you always think there's so many these great college players that never make it in the NFL, but it's like it just seems to be really, really watered down at this point.
Yeah. I don't think there's a lot of talent in these leagues. That's just my opinion.
So you think a Canadian team could just wipe the floor with these guys? Is that?
I don't watch it. Well, that's a question maybe for Rod. I don't really watch Canadian football because, other things going on. So I can't even comment on that. But I would imagine the Canadian teams probably could, because I mean, I've not been impressed by the talent in either the USFL or the XFL at all.
Yeah. Back in the day, the original USFL,
well, they had
talent.
Yeah. I mean, they rated, the NFL for some decent players.
There was the World Football League. And then, that was in the 70s. And then there was the USFL, and that was in the 80s.
I forget which league Flutie played for.
Flutie played in the USFL. He played with Herschel Walker in New Jersey for the Generals.
Yeah, no, I mean they were trying to almost do what the ABA did, back then.
I mean, the World Football League had some really talented players. The USFL did too, and they had Reggie White was in the USFL. In the World Football League, the Dolphins at the time lost Larry Zonka, Jim Kick, and Paul Warfield. All went to the World Football League. Danny White from the Cowboys came out of the World Football League. He was on Arizona. And, there were some good players in that league. But I think Spurrier played in that league as well.
Yeah. These players, they're not going anywhere.
No, they're not going anywhere, most of them. But some of them have been there, right? Isn't
some of them have been at Brent Huntley, but he's a backup. I mean, he can't even get off,
I thought he played well in the NFL when we saw him in Green.
I mean, he kind of did. I mean, he was okay, but
isn't the Alabama quarterback also one of these as well? The guy who was the backup for the Bengals, and then he's now.
I can't remember.
What's his name? I'm sure someone remembers. Oh, we'll have to figure it out.
Yeah, but it's. And I think it's everything. I also think it's the coaching, as I mentioned.
AJ McCarron.
Yeah, I don't know.
AJ McCarron. He played for the Bengals. He was the quarterback of the national championship Alabama team. Landry Jones is in there. Oh, he stinks. Yeah, this is not a good.
No.
Maybe they'll merge.
I mean, it's easy. It's kind of easy money, so it's fine, but it's not good football.
I think it's sad that I watch enough college football that I actually recognize all of these names of the players on the roster. Almost every single one of them. Ben DiNucci, he was on the Cowboys. Steven Montez from Colorado. McCarron. Oh, gosh. Jalen McClendon. Oof. They're reaching. Well, you didn't have a Florida Derby pick for us yesterday. The trifecta paid $13. The exacta paid like $6, and the super was $100. Meanwhile, in Arkansas, it was bombs away. There was 4 or 5 horses that were all kind of across the board even. And then there was a few other horses in there that, also had a shot. They weren't even money, but they were all in that 4-1 range. And then the rest of the horses were 30 plus. And one of them, Rafael Bejarano, was on, and he didn't care what the odds were. He came in second. And I'll tell you what, Bejarano can still ride a horse.
Yeah. Well, I've got to hop. So,
well, what do you got today at Pick Dogs?
Oh, sure.
The pitch.
I've got a triple pack in the NBA. Yesterday we were 3-1. We had our NCAA total of the month cash with the under in your game, Miami UConn. We also cashed our XFL play yesterday on the Vegas Vipers. They won 26-12. And we cashed in hockey as well today. No hockey, no XFL, just a triple pack in the NBA. And I've also posted for Monday's championship game, the side winner in tomorrow's game.
All right. Well, thanks for joining us. Enjoy the rest of your trip. Spring break is always exciting.
Yeah, sorry for the.
Doesn't look like Fort Lauderdale and the button for you. It looks more like.
No, we're in Palm Springs. So
sounds rough. Sounds rough in Palm Springs. That sounds pretty stressful.
No, it's fine, but it's just it's when you got 5 and 8-year-old kids running around.
That's these are the times you remember.
Yeah.
This is what everyone remembers. So all worth it. Thanks, Al, for taking the time out of your kids' vacation to come join us and get back to the family.
Okay, yeah, enjoy the games.
Big Al McMorty on vacation, but he's never on vacation. He's always working like me. Doesn't matter where he is. Speaking of vacation, we got Wayne on the show. Wayne was at the track meet yesterday. I think, I watched some baseball games that look like track meets. I saw the Angels running around the bases like they were at a horse race or something. 11 runs in the 3rd inning.
They definitely got it going yesterday, man.
It's like I cashed my Nerfy and my over all within the first, 3 innings in that game. It was beautiful.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Man, them Orioles let me down. Man, a couple bad beats for me yesterday, but it happens. You got to take your good beats with your bad beats. But that was the one right there. That was a rough one. A lot of times I don't let losses get to me. Just move to the next one. But that was a rough one for me yesterday. But like you said, we're back at it.
That's known in the business as leaving a mark. That one's gonna leave a mark.
No, it definitely did. It definitely did.
I got a back full of those, so I got and then some. I'm covered in those things. So are most of us. So we've all taken those. We've taken them, in football season. We take them in basketball season. The thing about that one is that there was an error involved and all this other stuff. It wasn't a bad call by an umpire, by an official or something like that. Those to me are the ones that just I'm sick to my stomach over, but the ones like that, it's kind of like, it's part of the game and maybe I'll get one of those back. But to me, it's the ones where you have the hideous call that they don't overturn, like the Super Bowl, like the last 2 Super Bowls, where it's like, it's decided by the referees and not on the field.
Yeah, definitely uncontrollable when it's in them refs and umpires' hands like that. I definitely understand where you're coming from. Players kind of messed that one up. Guy gave a home run right at their error. Yeah, definitely worse a beast than that. Like you said, when it's coming out of the refs' hands or something like that, or umpires' hand, definitely beats can get a lot worse than that. So I appreciate that input and put a little smile on my face about that loss yesterday. You're right. Definitely right about that.
Yeah, we'll get them back. We'll be on the right side of one of those. And you know what we say when that happens? Had it all the way, no doubt.
I like that.
Rod will tell you. Rod will
like that one.
No doubter.
Well, did you have anything on that FAU yesterday, Mitch?
I had FAU plus the points.
Yeah, me too. I definitely I had a money line. I definitely had a money line. Should have took them with the points. I definitely thought that they had enough. They came out in that first half swinging. I'm not going to call that really no bad beat. The guy just had an amazing shot, last second shot. It was a great shot. Better shot than it was something like bad defense or anything like that. It was just a great shot.
Happens, I think, it wasn't bad defense. I thought that they gave them 3 extra seconds. And I think that was the difference in the game. I think he went to the hoop just a little too early there. And I don't think it was like he had, this amazing opening parting of the Red Sea lane to drive to there. Is almost better if you're going to wait, if you're going to do that, you might as well wait all the way, and just shoot it right as the buzzer goes from 3-point land. And, the long rebound is going to take, the bounce off that is going to take even more time off the clock. And then they're going to have 1 or 2 seconds, maybe.
It makes it a lot harder shot for them. So
yeah. And plus on the long rebound, it's more of anybody's ball rather than 4, Aztecs standing there. And those guys, man, I wouldn't want to be standing with those guys. It's like,
yeah, man, they're tough. They're tough.
It's going to be a day in the jacuzzi for FAU after that one, regardless.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Well, what do you got going on today for us?
Today we're gonna go over here in the NBA and a game that I actually love. I think this game has a lot of emphasis. We're gonna go to the Grizzlies and the Bulls game. Has a 3 o'clock start time. I'm gonna go to the total on this game. I have a premium on the side, but both of these teams have been playing great defense as of late. Both of these teams are kind of on and off with the offense. As far as offense goes, we got the Bulls. They're ranked 19th in the points they score per game, which is 113. But at home, they're scoring 114, which is 19th. And their offense efficiency, it gets worse at home, and it goes to 22nd. So they're 22nd with offense efficiency, just not scoring enough for me. And on the other side of that, Memphis has been scoring well. They're 8th in scoring, but on the road they score their least amount, which they go from scoring 116 to 113 on the road, and they go from 17th in offensive efficiency on the season to 24th in offensive efficiency on the road. So they both struggle to score on the road. Memphis number one in defensive efficiency on the road. I mean, in the league, and 6th on the road. And the Chicago team, they're 7th in defensive efficiency in the league. 13th on the road. Another thing that leads me to this under right here, the Bulls are home dogs, and they are 7-11 as home dogs to the under, going under 11 times in that situation. And the Grizzlies, when they're favorites on the road, they are 9-16 to the under. I think we just have a playoff atmosphere game. And this 229, I like for it to stay under. These teams played in February, and it stayed way under this, and I like for it to stay under it again in the day due to all those circumstances I just pointed out. So give me the under 229 on the Memphis and the Bulls today.
Grizzlies just straight money on the money line versus the Eastern Conference as well. They are 15-0 in the favorite role against the Eastern Conference.
I believe
playing the East.
I believe with the Nuggets, losing these last couple games, going 5-5 in their last 10, they got a little chance to push for this number one spot here. I don't think
there's a crack. There's a small crack, and with the Nuggets playing Golden State tonight, I don't think you can count that as a win for the Nuggets just yet either.
Exactly. So I think that motivates the Grizzlies to play a little harder in a situation where maybe they wouldn't have to play as hard in this game. But if they want to go for that number one spot, which I think they maybe didn't think they had a chance for, but now do, it'd be a good game for them to step up and get it done here on the road and change how they've been normally playing on the road.
Yeah, I'm with you. What do you got going on at Pick Dogs today?
Got a lot of action today. Got 4 NBA games, 3 MLB games, and 2 NHL games. I got 2 3-packs for y'all. I do got my best bet in each one of them sports. I got my MLB hit and run, my Cujo big dog play today. It's an underdog that I love today in the MLB. I got my NBA make it take it, which is my best bet in the NBA, and my NHL picks on the sticks. We got the playoffs coming up. It's a couple teams that I love to bet on and in great spots today, and I definitely hopped up on them. So if you want to hop up on any of my best bets, my 3-pack today, go on and pick that up at pickdogs.com. Also take advantage of all the promotions Mitch got going on with the promo code PICK and the 2-for-1 Handicappers. Pair me up with one of these guys and let's cash out for the weekend.
All right, Wayne. Well, thanks for joining us. Any fights coming up that you got your eye on?
Yeah, I like the Ryan Garcia and Gervonta Davis fight. I watched that Anthony Joshua fight, heavyweight that kind of fell off. But he fought good yesterday. I wanted to see him push for the stoppage. It was a 12-round fight and a heavyweight fight. Nobody really wants to see that. But as far as his career goes, being one of the better heavyweights in this heavyweight, he just didn't look the same. I'm definitely waiting to see Anthony Joshua step back up, but yeah, that wasn't a great fight for him yesterday, even though he got the win. But yeah, lots of great boxing coming up. I know it's Inoue versus Fulton, another fight, major fight for the littler guys that are coming up, and Gervonta Tank and Ryan's ones I'm looking for.
That should be a good one. It's like, the problem with boxing throughout the years has been the good guys don't fight each other and, all the alphabet soup and all that other stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But I think they're moving back towards that, hopefully towards fighting one another while they're both still good, and I think that's really what it's all about, not when they're shot and just looking for a quick paycheck. not fighting professional wrestlers or MMA guys, fighting other fighters. And, I think the smartest move that they could do is to put these things on regular TV or on Showtime or something. But I think we're probably a ways away from that as well. But anyways, Wayne, thanks for joining us. We'll see you. Have a winning day.
All right. Take care, Mitch. Peace, Pick Dog family.
All right. That's Wayne. Next up, Al Ninos. Al gave us Kevin Gausman yesterday on the road as a favorite. I don't know what he was thinking. He had a winning day overall, but not for us here on our live show. Al, you still a Kevin Gausman backer after yesterday?
No.
He certainly looked like a worthless piece of crap out there once again.
We can't win them all, and you did mention him on the road and his road struggle. So we got to be careful with that. Still think that was the right play. Obviously it didn't work out our way, and again,
well, the right play are the ones that win.
Right.
Believe me, I've had a lot. I had the Orioles yesterday. Yeah, you might have been the right play until the bottom of the ninth inning. Then it was the wrong play.
Until the scoreboard said otherwise.
You know what was the right play? Orioles first 5. That was the right play. Orioles first inning. The yes runs first inning. Orioles first 5. Those are the right plays. The one I had was the wrong play. With Wayne, we both had it. What do you got cooking for us today?
Switch it up. Looking at some NBA again. Going up against a very team that's been team we like backing a lot, especially getting points with the Thunder. We mentioned that a lot. I know they've been laying big numbers lately, and we tend to mention them getting points. But that being said, they're still just 10-9 against the spread as home dogs. So most of that success again is coming as road dogs, getting those few extra points for being on the road, where they're 19-10-3 as road dogs against the spread. And I just think the way they haven't looked the same lately. And again, they have their best player in the lineup and all that. You expect them to keep as competitive at home. But again, they were also the best cover team in the league overall by a pretty good, comfortable margin. Now just tied for 4th place and 3-way tie for 4th place. Sorry. So dropping down there, obviously, as I mentioned, numbers adjusted a little bit. They were laying huge numbers. I just don't think they're getting enough points here against the Suns team that's been playing really well. They got Kevin Durant in the lineup, and it's been working out pretty well for them. And I expect them to come out and take care of business, win this one by closer to 6 to 10 points than the 5. Or it looks like this number's dropped again. Yeah, I'm seeing some 4s. Okay, they are juiced though, but okay, it's 5.5 now. Sorry. So yeah, I'd get on these Suns as soon as possible because it does look like it's heading up, and I'd rather get them anywhere under 6. Still, I'd still rather lay anywhere under 6 points here. So Suns minus 5.5 for me.
Yeah, the Suns are kind of a rough team this year, and the Thunder haven't really done their part either. The Suns have been terrible on the road, but the thing is that last game out against Denver, they didn't really play that well, and they still won. And I think that was a big thing. It's like if you can not play well and still win, kind of like that horse in the Florida Derby, he did not have his best race, and he still won. I mean, it is a really good sign, and I think the Suns know that. And they've strung together 4 wins here. I gotta agree with you. I don't like the way the Thunder have been playing lately, with SGA, without SGA. It really doesn't matter. They haven't played well either way. They haven't covered in their last 6 games at this point, even losing outright to the Pacers as 6-point favorites and beating the Pistons by a point. Congratulations. Yeah. I think I could beat the Pistons by a point.
I think we could. The morning show today, ready to go. But yeah, you mentioned the Suns' road struggles, just 16-23 straight up on the road. But in this situation, they are 10-8 against the spread as road favorites. So when they are favored on the road, they do like to come out and take care of business more often than not. And I don't think they come out and take the Thunder lightly here. I mean, they know that the Thunder can usually keep up with the best of them. But again, just don't think the Thunder are getting enough points, especially for the way they've been playing lately.
You know what they say, if the Thunder don't get you, then the Lightning will. Anyways, what do you got going on at Pick Dogs today?
Got a 5-pack in the MLB. Got my $19 play in the NBA. 3-pack in the MLB again if you're looking for less action. And also got my play for college basketball tomorrow as well if you're looking for that. Yeah, a lot of action for me again today. Big day, big baseball card. So I'm gonna have I have an extra play there as well as an extra play in the NBA and NHL. So yeah, pretty big day for me. If you want to hop on one of those long-term 2-for-1 capper specials.
All right, Al. Thanks for joining us. We'll
Thanks for
see
having me.
you during the week. Al Ninos. Up next, Rod Zawacki. It's just one capper after another here. Rod, how's it going?
Yeah,
Saw you being familiar with a lot of the things that we talked about during this show. The leave a mark, the had it all the way, and of course
definitely the leave a mark.
That of course that exacta yesterday. It's like I think most people lost money that bet that race.
Right? I had the 6-7 exactor. I wanted the 7 that the rocket can. I figured he was going to be there, but that's it. That 9 came out of nowhere. It was just like, holy man. There was like 5 horses that were second that were like raced. Now that 6 pulled away, and then that 9 just came out from the outside.
Bejarano,
oh yeah,
great jockey.
Oh my goodness, 58-1 in the second, and holy man, he came right out the outside. And I was like, oh, here he comes.
There was a time where you never saw Bejarano at those prices. He was he came up at River Downs in Ohio, and then he kind of was the guy that became the guy there. And then he went to Churchill, and he kind of was the guy there for a while. He's ridden against the very, very best and shown that he can be one of the best. So
that he can be one of the best, yeah. And, watch out for him. Holy man, did he come out of nowhere? But yeah, the other one, the Florida Derby was definitely
the
favorite thing came running down. He just came at the end there. My 4 was there. He had the lead, but that 11 right chased him down. Yeah. So we got the exacta in that one, but as you said, it paid $6.
Lost money.
Like $6.
We had the exacta.
I made 150 because I put 50 on it. I figured that was going to be it, and I wanted the 4 to win. If the 4 wins that one, man, it would have been $6. It would have been way more. To beat the favorite would have been way more than $6.
Probably would have been about $11 anyway. It wouldn't have been much.
Yeah, it would double, probably $11-12 because he was the second favorite in that race.
Yeah. So. Chalk is as the old saying goes.
More chalk, yeah.
As the old saying goes, chalk. Anyways, what do you got going on today for us?
Going on today, we're gonna go to the MLB. We got the Mets taking on the Marlins here in this one, and Trevor Rogers is going to get the start for the Marlins in this one. And his 2 seasons, he's definitely not been the greatest pitcher for the Marlins. But I think this 3rd year out, he's going to have a better season than what he's had the last 2. And then the Mets starting Sengan. I'm going to butcher this guy's name. Japanese pitcher going to get his first start in the MLB here for the Mets in this one. And I watched him in spring training, and Cody Senga is this Japanese player is his name. And I watched him in spring training. He's got a nasty little slider that he likes to use, and then he's got a fastball. But that fastball comes in pretty straight, and if you got some guys watching and scouting, it won't be too long before they figure out they'll be able to tip that pitch, and I think they get to him. So for me, I like the Marlins here. As you look at the Mets on the road, 1-4 in their last 5 in a row. I haven't been playing so good. Mets, they also don't follow up wins last year. They win 1, and then they follow it up with a loss. 2-7 in their last 9 following a straight up win. Well, the Marlins, 6-0 are these Marlins following a loss. So for me, we're going to take the Marlins here. After their loss yesterday, they bounced back and get a win here over the Mets today. Take the Marlins.
Yeah, we saw a Japanese pitcher make his debut yesterday in Oakland against the Angels, and he came out and he got the nerfy for us in the first inning, and then, that 11-run third is something. And that's, as Wayne said, as Wayne was talked about, that'll leave a mark.
That'll leave a mark, yeah. I looked over and I was like, oh, look, they 1-0 Angels. And then I looked at it, was like 11-0 Angels. Yikes.
But we've seen
Like I
pitchers
I
like
think,
that before in the past that have rebounded from tough outings like that. And it's not uncommon for a
definitely.
guy's first major league outing for them to get roughed up, especially
Get
against a
roughed up.
lineup like he faced there against the Angels. But
He's probably not facing the same type of lineup here that Marlins don't have the same type of lineup as the Angels do. But I think what the Marlins do have, they can touch him. I think he gets hit. I think he might let a few bombs go. The way he lets that fastball go, it looks like it just comes in straight, and the way he releases it, he's going to have to change that up a little bit because he'll be able to tip that pitch, and they'll be able to hone in on that fastball when he releases it. So
are the Calgary Flames worth minus 520 today?
You know what? Actually, if you go by the betting tools, I'm going to take the Ducks plus the goal and a half. If you go by the betting tools, Calgary following overtime. What is it? They failed to cover the puck line in, was it 6 straight, 7 straight? Something crazy, big number. And I don't want to lay that kind of price to Calgary. I hate Calgary. I hope the Ducks beat them outright, but the Ducks definitely didn't look good last night in Edmonton. They got pantsed 6-0. Even with Campbell in that, they couldn't even get a sniff. So in the video, I did take Calgary on the puck line on that one, but
Change
not
of
again
heart.
rushing the window to bet. Little change of heart. By the betting tools, I think we've seen Calgary choke against against the bad teams they should win. I've seen them choke at 1-goal wins where they should be blowing these teams out. But the last few games, Calgary's looking a little more focused and probably wins this by a couple, I think. So, one I would stay away from. But the betting tools do say that the Ducks are the play, and especially at the puck lines at like plus 160. So it's like, yeah, if you had to bet it, that's the only way to bet it. You don't want to be laying minus 520. It's like betting the favorite in the horse race yesterday. How much were you going to get? It was at 1-5 at one point, which is the same as laying a minus 500, I guess.
What do you got going on at Pick Dogs today?
Going over at Pick Dogs today. I got my Sunday Safe Crackers going. There's a nice little 5-pack. We includes 2 MLB, 2 NBA, and 1 NHL. Or you get my top-rated NHL play, my $19 NHL Sniper. 5-2 in the last 7 of those. It's been rolling right along. So scoop that up or use that promo code PICK at checkout and scoop up that 2-for-1 capper deal. Can't go wrong with that. 2 heads are always better than 1. So, jump aboard.
All right.
Nice bounce back day today.
All right. Well, we will see you tomorrow morning. And
I'll be here this afternoon. I'll be in with Jay this afternoon, going over some hoop sessions. So
all right,
this afternoon.
We'll see Rod this afternoon because it's a massive NBA card. Probably going to miss the first
NBA
game or
card.
2, but there'll still be plenty of games out there.
Definitely plenty. So see everybody later. Smash that thumbs up. Cost you nothing. Helps us out a ton. Appreciate everybody. See you guys this afternoon.
All right. And last but not least, got Jay Briggs, the proud owner of a baseball from the Texas Rangers game. There's a happy fan. There it is. Major League Baseball. So have you been to 2 Rangers games already this season? Been to 2. So your mic is off. You're muted.
All right, my bad. I had to switch my mic. I had the wrong
that's
one hooked up.
That's okay.
But yeah, I've been to both games this season. I might go again today. Rangers
Yeah.
looking good, man. It's fun out there. Caught a home run ball yesterday. Garver hit me one. It was pretty cool, man.
Playing
From first one
tonight,
catching.
the team's playing well. It's always fun. That's for sure. When they're winning, I remember living in Chicago and the year the White Sox won the World Series. It was definitely good times. But anyways, good NBA card today.
Huge NBA card today, yes, sir.
And then it's like the NBA is kind of ending the season in this odd manner where it's like all or nothing. We had 2 games on Thursday, full card on Friday. No,
I just looked. There's no games tomorrow.
No games tomorrow up against. They kind of like really respect the college basketball, stuff, and they don't play. And then Tuesday they bomb us again with a full card. But it's good. It's like if there are teams that are fighting it out, like those teams in the West, at least they get that day. Everyone gets the day off in between. It's all even, and we want to see everybody at the top of their game. So I don't have a problem with it as long as we got games, which we do. It's not like football season where there's just one game on Monday Night Football or something.
Right. Yeah. Shout out to the NBA for that. But yeah, it's a huge card today, huge card Tuesday. So I know I'm here to cover every game for you. I'm ready to smash your jam sessions up for the day. And I'm gonna give out a play right here with Mitch.
All right. Well, what do you got for us?
So it's a huge card. This is the one I'm gonna go with. I just don't feel comfortable laying 17 with the Minnesota Timberwolves. Are the Blazers a terrible team right now? A G League team full of rotational players? Yes. But in that same breath, the Minnesota Timberwolves are the house of disappointment. And I just really believe that they win this game by like 12, 13 points. I see them winning it pretty convincingly, pretty comfortably, but laying 17 with Minnesota is just not somewhere I want to be. This Blazers team, they're not the best team. They're missing all their guys, but I just feel like today should be a spot where, you know, the rotational guys do just enough. Minnesota probably goes in here, goes through the motions in typical Minnesota fashion. When everybody loads up on Minnesota is when this team likes to let people down. I think that's what they are due for today, ATS-wise at least. I think it's a 14, 13-point win for the Timberwolves, and the Blazers probably catch a backdoor cover.
I like fading the Timberwolves too, but the Blazers just look so bad.
I know.
They look so bad.
I know. But, you know, sometimes you just got to do it. Laying 17 in the NBA game is crazy, in my opinion. It's still an NBA roster. Laying 17 is crazy, and especially doing it with the Minnesota Timberwolves. Now, I said this morning on the gym session, can the Timberwolves blow this team out like every other team has on this Portland Trail Blazers team recently? Yes, but I also believe that, you know, these guys, they want to put out some good film as well. They did keep it quite competitive with the Kings in that last one. I watched the entire game. As my play of the day that day was the Kings. The Kings took off on them in the fourth. I don't know if the Timberwolves got that same knockout power. We know the Kings are a team that this season, they're not going through the motions. They're happy to be where they're at, still trying to catch the Grizzlies. Timberwolves, they're the house of disappointment for a reason. I feel like a lot of people might be disappointed betting the Timberwolves today.
Yeah, the Timberwolves just, I mean, I've lost so much money on the Timberwolves over the years. It's like every time I get excited about them, they let me down. So
that's the house of disappointment. Exactly.
Yeah.
Same thing for me. But for me, it's the other way as well. When I really want to fade them, they usually disappoint me and go crazy in that spot. So we'll see if that's what's in order today.
Well, I'm getting roasted in the YouTube comments today over in Romanelli's post for talking about people who are talking about their parlays after the games are over. Jay, as someone does their videos, do you prefer people who post their picks before the games or tell you about their winners after the games are over?
I love the people that come in before the fact. They, like you say all the time, man, I want to win too. If you got a
it's like if you got picks, man,
let me hit with you. You know, we give out so many winners. It'd be nice to get some as well. But I hate the ones that come in after the fact. You know, like, come on now. You didn't know anything, or you would have put it in the comments before the fact.
Well, it's like what there's to me when you put that in the comments, you know, or you don't even say what the picks were, right, and how much you bet. But this is what they do, right? They have like all this stuff, and then they say, "Okay, I got all these tickets, and I won, right? It's like
exactly.
You know, I could do that too. Believe me, you know. Should I announce
all
every
of us
bet
here
I
at Big
won?
Dogs can. We win a lot, you know, but you know, we don't pick out our one random winner parlay and comment on it like it's the end of the world either. So, you know, I got chill. If it's a winner, man, put us on it before the fact. I want to win too with you guys.
Someone's calling me a dick in here, so that's pretty,
I'm getting cooked in my comments today too about the Mavs per usual. So we'll see if we can shut them up today. That team, they frustrate me. But we've had a great week this week, man. Trying to keep it rolling forward into today. I have 3 plays in the NBA today. I also got my MLB play. I've hit 6 of my last 9 on my $19 NBA Jam Session play. So you can scoop that play up today. I love today's play, guys. I really do. And I'm trying to go 4-0 to start out the MLB season on my MLB play of the day. Cashed it again yesterday with the Rangers as a plus money. The Phillies, they're struggling right now. They're without some of their top guys. So I really thought my Rangers was a good spot to be yesterday. And I got another play fired up in MLB today. So scoop all my plays over at Pick Dogs Premium.
All right, Jay. Well, thanks for joining us, and we'll see you on the afternoon jam session. Thanks everyone who's joined us today. Thanks to everyone that posts in the comments. I'm getting crushed over here in Romanelli's. I'm having a good time with it. I don't care, man.
Yeah.
It's like the thing is, I'm consistent. I'm transparent. I give my picks. We could change our whole thing and just talk about it yesterday, man.
Right.
It's like, well, I lost that Orioles game with Wayne, but you know what? I also had the Guardians.
Right.
It's like, but I gave it out as a premium pick. So even then I gave it out ahead of time. So that was the difference,
Yep.
Yeah. All right. Well, thanks, Jay. And thanks everyone for joining us. Make it a winning day.